Good morning, folks. Welcome back to Southern Blessed Homestead. What am I doing this morning? Something I really don't want to do, but I'm very grateful for, and I was looking forward to, is getting some fresh lima beans. And sorry if I'm shaky. It's early morning and it's already hot. It's about 80 degrees. But the sun is not shining on the garden quite yet, so I am taking advantage of that, and I'm picking lima beans, which I do not like to do. Bush beans, you could see them behind me, and I thought I'd just kind of take you with me and show you what I'm doing. Kind of doing this one-handedly, but the ground is very dry. I just watered yesterday as much as I could. I hand water everything. We do not have an irrigation system just yet. Hopefully one of these days. And I used to use soaker hoses and stuff, but my ground is not so level, so part of it gets water and the other part does not. So I did not do that this year, but you can see how dry the ground is, even cracking a little bit, but actually it's kind of moist underneath there. Clay soil does hold the moisture somewhat. So the lima beans are ready pretty much when they start turning a little yellowish and they got the lumps of the beans in them. So I am sitting on a 5-gallon bucket and I straddling it, and I put the beans in it between my legs. This is about the best way that I have figured out how to do it over the years. It's hard to stoop over these plants. I have been tempted and have done in the past is just let them do their thing and then pull the whole plant up, you know, dried beans and all, because you can reconstruct the dried beans or else use them for seeds as well. So sometimes, I mean, I haven't grown them in a couple years, so I'm still trying to figure out which ones are ready and which ones aren't, you know, by the feel of them, because some of them, like this one, is obviously got the lumps of the beans in it, but it could wait a little bit longer. Usually when they're ready, it has more like a silky feeling of more dried feeling. I don't know how to explain it. And it turns a little bit yellow. I have got a zinnia right in this one little section right here. So it's kind of in my way a little bit. And the plants kind of flop over, and they're pretty resilient as far as they take the abuse of being flopped over back and forth when you're messing with them. So some of these have been on here a while, and they're getting, because I watered, and the plants, and the bugs are getting them. So what I do with this is I get the good ones out and I'll just leave the bad ones out here. Yep. I should have gloves on, but I don't have my gloves on because sometimes there are spiders in these bushes. But it's hard to feel the texture and things when you have gloves on. So that one could have waited. But they're harder to open because they're actually a little green. But if you just push the seam, it pops open. And there's your beans. These are a little bit more green. A lot of people call these, I think on the package it said lima beans. So, but some people call them butter beans. I think they're basically the same. They're the same family, but they, depending on how you pick them or when you pick them, lima beans are green. Butter beans are more yellowish. See, this one is this is more riper than the other one. And you just press on the seam and give my nasty hands. They have been abused. Garden hands. I can't get it open with that one hand. I see that there's more of a plump. And these, I am trying to figure out if I might have got some Dixie peas in here as well, because this actually looks more like a Dixie pea. Yeah, got my seeds messed up somewhat, but it's food and I'm grateful for it. So this is me picking lima beans, and as I do this, I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, but also this is a beautiful time to meditate, be thankful that I have these early mornings to do this cooler than in the afternoon, and even the evenings are hot, sweaty. I'm not profusely sweating as I have been lately. See, some of these have gotten dry, which are just fine. Oh, I'm having a hard time with the camera, sorry. Because you can reconstruct them in, water. They just take more water. Boil them up. But I'm going to be canning most of these. What I'll do is I'll separate the dry ones from the other ones when I get in the house. See, the bug ate that one. But these two right here, 2 or 3, yeah, there's 3 of them. Sometimes, mostly they're 3-podded. Sometimes you'll get a 4-pod beans in the pod. So the other ones are fine. This is actually probably the perfect stage because they're in between the dry and the fresh. But they are kind of harder to open at times when they're in this stage. They're easier kind of when they're a little green to pop open. But see, this one could stay on there a little bit longer. I'm just tempted to just strip everything I can off the plants though, because the bugs are starting to eat them more, and it's hard to spray anything in these bushes. And I don't like to spray. So, it's a battle between me and the bugs. So, yep, got my lima beans going. So it'll take me a while, but this is a nice quiet time to talk to the Lord, pray for family and friends, and just be grateful for what I have. Now I have the dried separated from the green. Now some of these are green or semi-dry, but more or less they're dried. And I have the two different kinds of butter beans and lima beans. These are the smaller ones, and there wasn't as many dried. The yellowy ones that you see are just starting to dry. They're more ripe. But I've got these two flats of them. The reason why you lay it out, when you come out from the hot outside and you bring this inside, it's going to have condensation and it will tend to mold if you leave them all together in a bucket. So you need to lay it out flat and let them dry out until you're ready to pick. And so I've got two of these flats that I'm fixing to start shelling. And this is what I do here. My family loved to shell, in the fact that it gave them permission to sit down and watch TV, movies, or something. So I get a big bowl, fill it up with all the beans, and fill it up as full as I can, so I don't have to keep getting up and down. Believe me, after a couple hours picking, your back and your legs from squatting up and down need a little bit of a rest. So I'm filling my bowl up. Yeah, it's good enough, I guess, right now. Whoops. Alright, you get you a big bowl, and then you get you a bucket for the shells, and then you find you a comfortable chair and you watch YouTube channels. You get you a big bowl of beans to shell, and I got your discard bucket over here for the shells, and you throw, once you crack these open, it's hard to do one-handed. Try to find one that ain't so hard. Yep, you shell them, leave them in the bowl, throw the unwanted in there, and you keep doing that many times as you're watching YouTube. Makes for a nice, relaxing time and a reward after picking them.